hip-hop culture, with DJs and singing graffiti art. Are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip-hop, you are hip-hop.
Oh, man. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I am just soaking it all in. Okay, there's been a lot. There's been a lot. I'm actually not driving to Houston this weekend, so I'm sitting still. I do think I'm back on the road next week, I believe. So is life. But I have an engaging conversation set up for us today, and a couple of updates. Some updates I'm not going to share because I got a little lazy, I guess, whatever. But yeah, I thought to myself, how do I want to approach this conversation today, knowing that on Monday we have the presidential inauguration. It's also MLK Day. TikTok gets banned on Sunday. There's a lot of shit going down. It's a lot of shit going down right now. But it is what it is. So let me do this. Let us play. Let's play the intro. And then we're going to jump right into it. Good afternoon. Welcome to Guuuuurl. Listen. Actually, I should say y'all listen, because there is so much happening. But welcome. I am Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack. It's 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock Central. And I really, really worked hard on trying to figure out how I want to navigate this conversation today. But before I go into that, because there is a lot, and there will be so much more going forward. So I'm not going to downplay that. Yes, I had to put on my readers because I can't see the screen. As my mama says, just keep living, and you'll understand. So shout out to Jessica. Hello. Good to have you here, ma'am. David is in the building, ready to go. Afternoon, Afternoon, David. Afternoon. There's a temperature drop, y'all. Ooh, there's a temperature drop. And according to the meteorologists, there may be some snow and ice in Houston. Now, before people are like, oh my God, what? Okay. Houston gets ice a lot of times, but Houston has seen snow a few times, okay? I have been around for snow a number of times. I have pictures. So Houston getting snow does seem like hell has frozen over. Well, okay, yeah, but Houston can get snow. So we will see what happens this weekend. I just put my plants outside to get some sun. I have lemongrass because of the mosquitoes and things. And now I got to bring it back inside because it's supposed to drop again. So, yeah. Hey, Black Element in the building. Thank you, sir, for your talents. He is the creator of our theme music. It goes hard. I know. Jessica says we have bigger things to worry about than banning TikTok. Ooh, girl. See, Jessica, you can be like my side chick. You can come on here. I can get you a mic. You can be side chick because you understand. And yes, they're already shutting things down for Tuesday. That proposed snow and ice's Arctic blast that will be coming through. It's going to be something serious. People talk about, I didn't know that Texas gets snow. Texas gets a lot. Okay, like it's a really large state. If you're in the north, you get a lot of ice and snow. You get snow on the regular, which is why I didn't understand how there was not proper tools to handle the snow in North Texas. There's also a lot of tornadoes, but I have noticed, because I'm in Arlington, that tornado alley is shifting. Maybe it's gotten wider, I don't know. But if it starts in Fort Worth, we get like pea-sized hail here, like tiny, and then it blows up going east. I'm just saying. But I mean, if you go out to like West Texas, you got desert and whatnot. Like, it's a big state. It's a huge state. People should visit. I know our politics can get kind of wonky. That's a whole nother thing. But we got badass barbecue. Like, it's better than Kansas City. And yes, I am rooting for the Texans. I am rooting for the Texans this weekend. I know Kansas City has a record, and I get it. And we're only 2 years in with our new, very young crew, okay? It's only been 2 years, people, so calm down, Texan fans, calm down. But I am rooting for the Texans this weekend. And I haven't actually watched much football this year. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I got you as long as we can pop confetti. Thank you, Jessica. Trust. We're going to find a time to have you do like a special edition of something. Who knows? But, you know, I've got confetti. I'm stacked for like at least the next 2 years. I'm done with confetti. Snow, get out my lid. Man, we've seen it. Like when I moved here in 2009, there wasn't much there was some that year, but definitely in 2010, like I have plenty of pictures and I was shocked my first winter here that they don't shovel the snow at apartments. I came out because I'm coming from New York, right? I'm coming from Wash Heights. And I was like, I know good and darn well, y'all see this snow out here. Y'all don't see this snow out here? Not a shovel in sight. People can slip and fall. No big deal. That's your fault, slipping and falling. Yeah, okay. That's different. But let me start here before I get into our conversation. Let me start here. I just want to show a quick video of my cousin's celebration. I'm going to tell you this really quick. My family, we know how to celebrate people. And what's really great is that these types of celebrations were happening for her before she passed away. So when people are like, oh my God, they did it big when she wasn't here, she received her flowers before. Okay. So this is just continuing what she was already accustomed to. But I shared a note, and I've shared it here too. Our loved ones, they don't belong to us. We are going to be on this earth. We are going to fulfill our purpose, and then we will be called back home. So if there is anybody you want to talk to, give flowers to, celebrate, whatever, today is your day. Do it. But with that, let me show you a quick celebration video. And I don't want to take like a snippet. I have a whole thing coming on my channel later, but watch this. Is that not beautiful? Oh my God. We had the best time dancing and playing her favorite songs. Yes, there were tears. I have to admit that I remember going to my auntie's house afterwards, and I was in the garage, and she's normally in there. Now, it's a garage, but it's a garage / juke joint spot because there's a DJ, TV, everything. And it hits you, and it's really the change, right? Of not seeing them physically, but she is all around us. She is all around us, right? But it was a beautiful celebration, beautiful service as well. And it was just great to spend time with my family and loved ones and a full-on dinner. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not really big with celebrations, but her favorite color was also purple. So I already said I want to be cremated. I'm like my daddy. Cremate me, call the day. All that hoot and hollering that you want to do, I ain't gonna hear it. So save it for somebody else. Save it for Oprah. But If you want to have a party and have like purple and play Prince, oh, shit, have at it. Like, do whatever you want to do. But I'm just like, it's not in my wheel. Okay. I am going to be cremated, throw me in a can somewhere and call it a day. That's it. If I may say so myself. Yes, give those flowers today. Give them today. And it was, when I say beautiful, I walked in, I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So yeah, she was definitely celebrated. I mean, I'm just saying, you know how much urns go for? I mean, there's a reason why people are buying their urns and their caskets from Wally World and Amazon, because I'm just saying, but whatever. People go and try to make money off of you no matter where you are in the world, even after you're dead. So God bless it. But let's get to this conversation, because I want to talk about Martin's dream. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Martin's dream. Yeah, you know, it's been a few decades. You would be in your Mustang. We didn't go on some whole other topic. That's a really big hole in the ground, sir. Unless somebody is going to like put you in the urn and then keep driving your Mustang. So technically you're in it. She was like, I'm going to take you. Oh, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea, David. Put me in a wine bottle. Now, I will say this, it may sound morbid, but you know, when you get people cremated, those are some heavy ashes. I mean, Pops was heavy. I was like, damn, this is a heavy box. My friend Christy, like her mother was cremated, and I remember having to move the bag and that had her box in it. I didn't know what it was. I just kind of moved it. And she was like, did you move this? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of heavy. She's like, that's my mama. I was like, oh Lord, Miss Nettie. I didn't know. I had no idea. Ashes are heavy. So maybe part of me will fit in the wine bottle. I don't know if all of me will fit in the wine bottle. But I like that idea, David. I like it. I am digging that. Oh, you're going to donate your body to science? Well, I am a donor. Me and my wonky eyes, but my heart is really good, and there are other parts of me that is really good. But I am a donor. So if anybody could take anything from Gwendolyn, take it, use it as you see fit. So let's talk about this conversation, right? Because Monday is MLK Day. Monday is MLK Day, and it's a holiday. A national holiday, so obviously some things are going to be closed and what have you. It's also the presidential inauguration day, and here's the deal. This is at Harvard where people are like, well, where do you stand? Okay, I read the speech again, right? I read it again, and it hurts my heart because I'm reading a speech that was given in 1963. And yet and still it is 2025. And I am seeing the same topics and the same ills that Martin and so many others spoke about. And that pained me because as a kid, I just knew that when I would get older, we wouldn't be here again. I just knew it. It's new in my heart that we wouldn't be here. So I shared this photo last time. I'm going to share it again. I shared this photo last time of how Black people, white people were marching for integrated schools and decent housing and an end to bias and equal rights. I shared that before. And, you know, humans are fatally flawed. We have a want, I feel, to a certain degree, to repeat history. I don't know why. You know, sometimes we romanticize periods of time without looking at the full context of what was going on. Like people, and you've seen it, if you've been on any kind of social media, and if you are on TikTok, I pray you have something else that you're going to run to, right? Because, supposedly they're going to go dark on Sunday, but I can't tell you. But people like to romanticize periods of time. And I've seen young people, young men especially, who like to romanticize that these women aren't like my grandmother. They're not ride or die. They're not here for all the things that happen in a relationship. Here is the deal. Your grandmother didn't have all the rights that a woman has today. A lot of women couldn't have their own money, couldn't have their own checking account, couldn't get a license, couldn't get a car, couldn't get a divorce, no matter how violent that marriage was. They couldn't leave. Right? Couldn't get away. So the fact that your grandmother, your auntie, whoever stayed there does not mean that she was in a happy home. Just means that she couldn't break free. So we romanticize these ideas, these time periods when things were whatever. Now, look, I am clearly a Black woman. Okay? I go to bed Black, I wake up Black. Okay? There is no changing of anything, right? Like, this is it. So the way I see the world is from a different lens. I don't have the privilege to not know someone treating me different based on either my gender or the color of my skin. I don't have it. I don't have it. Don't have it. I remember when I was younger, high school to be exact. I remember where the incident with Rodney King happened. And if I can find some of my poetry, I will definitely find it. I recall being angry. I was angry because I watched this man get beaten on TV. And I just knew that justice would prevail. And then that didn't happen, right? So the police brutality, the heavy policing that Marvin Gaye sings about was still happening. And I remember writing poetry about not having kids because I didn't want to bring a Black child into this world. Now, that's not why I don't have kids. Trust me. I'm just not that responsible. That's why I don't have kids. But I remember writing about that. And then I ended up moving to New York City and going to school in a city that is literally the melting pot. When I got my apartment in Washington Heights, I had the Yeshiva University on one side, so the Jewish community. I had Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, like it was everybody. And there was actually this one Dominican man, every day he was like, hola mami, buenos dias. Now, I don't know a lot of Spanish. I knew a little bit that I could talk to him, but that was it. And I was like, but I'm not Spanish. It didn't matter. To be civil and to be a good human, just say hello, good morning, costs you nothing. He didn't lose anything from it. I didn't lose anything from it either. And I lost that anger. I lost it. I couldn't see myself being angry because of how the world was treating people who looked like me. I couldn't stay there. Now, Jessica is my sister. She's my sister, right? And there's just no way that I could look at her and be angry. Now, when I say we family, Jessica's family. We stay in contact all the time. We're always talking, right? And I have a lot of people in my family who do not look like me. We are like the UN. We got a little bit of everything going on. So I know that things have moved in the right direction. But I also know that for whatever reason, and I have my own ideas of why, some of us feel threatened by the idea of moving forward, right? Of recognizing what is going to be. Now, let me read some of these comments. As Black Eighth Element says, I feel society is in a better place than back then. I think it's unrealistic to think that there would be complete nirvana. Oh, no, we're not looking for nirvana, but great point. Yes, we have made some strides. But let me tell you what's interesting about your comment. Because I'm going to say this, it's going to be ugly. These next couple of years are going to be ugly. And let me tell you why I say that. So just this week, already in Oklahoma, there are 2 bills being presented in regards to marriage. One of them is you have to pretty much have a really good reason to get divorced. Right? Like there is this way of forcing you to go to a counselor and everything else, unless you can prove that your spouse is abusing you and other awful things, then getting the divorce will be like impossible. The second thing is a tax credit for parents who stay together and have their own natural born children with them. So we're not talking step parents or step kids or whatever else. These are your kids, because it is more productive to have a mother and father in a household for a child. Okay, yes and no, because if the relationship is volatile, if it is an awful abusive relationship, that does not do a child good at all. It does not serve that child. As a matter of fact, if you are staying married to your spouse, but you never hug your spouse, you never kiss your spouse, you never show your kids what love looks like in a household, it's not good for them either. It's not good for them. Forcing people to stay together for optics. Now, I will say this. The people of Oklahoma have already said that the state is overstepping their bounds. This is not the first time either that a bill of this type has been presented in Oklahoma. It's not the first time. It's not. Will it pass this time? I don't know. But in my head, if you are making it hard, and women can be abusive too, so I'm not going to even sidestep that, but I'm a woman, so I'm coming from here. But if you make it hard for any spouse to leave an abusive relationship, that's not good for anybody. And primarily, it tends to impact women. Just saying. Already. I mean, we haven't even gotten 5 steps into January, and already we're doing that. We're doing that. And I can't remember the state, so forgive me, because I do a lot of research, but there is a state, I'm going to find it, I'll make sure I post it in my community page, that in regards to abortion and wanting to get one if you were raped, you have to prove that you were raped before they would even consider allowing you to get an abortion. Okay. All right. It's going to get ugly. Just so all the progress. Yeah. Let me keep moving, because this time is moving fast here. Yes. Civil and human, $0. It costs you nothing. Thank you, David. It costs you nothing. But my mom is here. Hey, mama. There you go. Mother's here. Hello. Jess says, I wish we could all get along no matter the color of our skin. It makes me so sad that we still can't. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for that. Let me get right into one part. I'm only taking certain parts of the speech, okay? Because I was going through it, and if you have never heard it, you probably should look at it at this point. But 100 years later, the Negro is still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the monocles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about that real quick? We know that in terms of how much we get paid. Now, Black women are at the bottom of the totem pole. We're at the bottom, right? We are still having to tell people that racism needs to end. We need to stop this heavy police brutality. And if you haven't been watching the news, there is a lawsuit that has just made it into a lawsuit. But I want to say this incident happened in 2023, where again, police officers, a no-knock warrant, jumps into a house. A young man, 16, sleep, puts his hands up, pop, 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 and he is dead. This heavy policing that we have to deal with. Now, I can see now why my father would sit in his car and play Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Because I find myself doing the same now. I find myself playing that album. Trying to figure out, how are we still here? How are we still here? Why are we still here? I just don't get it. For whatever progress has been made, there are some people who are working extra hard to remove it. Now, I want to say this really quick, because Black folks will fight for everybody. All right. The civil rights movement, as I believe, is still happening. I think this is like civil rights 2.0 that's about to go down. Black folks fight for everybody. We will cheer everybody on. We will show up for you. My grandmother, my auntie, the number of people that they put their arms around, gave space to in their home without a thought, without any thought. When you think about the civil rights movement, yes, we were fighting for equal rights, but for everybody. Everybody. It didn't say just for Black people. It never said that. Never. It was for everybody. Exhausting. Exhausting, I tell you that. Exhausting. So I think about where we are now. Now, when I say 2.0, I am not, I'm trying to find the right words for myself. I was labeled militant in high school. Yes. So we are still there. I am still that person. I'm still that person. People talk about, be careful what you say. Don't talk about this. You may burn some bridges. We will never put what I believe in, my values, at risk for what might be. Look, if you won't accept me for what I look like and what I talk about, you're not the right company anyway. There was a quick little sidebar. There was someone who had mentioned how when they use LinkedIn, they do not add a picture because they don't want to be disqualified for being Black, right? Because if they look at you, then they know who's hiring and who's applying. And I thought to myself, if you have to work at a business that doesn't want you to show up as your full self, you don't need to be at that business. That's not the spot for you. That's not the spot for you. You should never have to hide yourself to work somewhere. It's not how that works. Really quick, as my mama is sharing all the agape love. Mother loves everybody. Shout out to Ron Foster, who is here. Hello, family. He says, Isla, my partner, we got to get back on the schedule, sis. And if the good Lord allows, Isla, I am up for a road trip. It takes 8 hours to get to Colorado. We could hit out to like the West Coast and do something. Put it in the universe. But yes, how are we still here? How and why are we still here? How and why? Yes. Yes. It makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense. But let me continue with this speech Let me continue. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, Black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I read. That's what I recall reading. I don't recall it saying that only certain people were to get these rights. I don't recall that. It wasn't just for the rich. It wasn't just for those who were of African descent, European descent, Spanish descent. It was just all men, everybody. That's what I read. And I keep asking myself, why does it matter so much? Like that zero-sum mentality that someone has to lose in order for me to win. There is so much opportunity outside my window. And we talk about it often. Look at the grocery store. There are aisles and aisles and aisles upon the same item being sold in different cans and different jars, and everybody gets a little piece. Why must we feel like somebody has to be held down in order for someone else to get ahead? I don't know. Now, I will tell you this. All these people who feel like they're going to be like filthy rich, I'd like to see that happen. I want to see that happen. Because I have never resonated with any message from any person who hasn't had to really fight for something. I'm just saying. No. And two things. Yes, I have my girl listen glass. Yes, I do have it. And if you really want to know, I got a little hunch punch. A little old smoky moonshine. Yes, I am on it today, people. I am on it today. I was going to do apple juice, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like doing the apple juice. Didn't feel it. Let me continue here. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. Hello, knock, knock, McFly. There's a rude awakening coming. That's 1963, y'all. 1963. And it seems to me like we want to go back to business as usual. Oh my God, I think not. No. Now, I don't know. I mean, could we see the French Revolution happening here? I don't know. It's looking kind of funny. It's looking just a little funny, right? We don't want to talk about, yes, you know what? Yes, we do. I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to do it really quick. Let me do it. I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to do it and like wrap this up. It is because we need to be reminded, if you have not heard the speech in a long time, listen again. If you have not read it, read it again. And I'm going to go with this. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to put it right here. Because for what we have going on today, we have problems, really big problems. There is no way in the world And I know that I am non-denominational, so hear me clearly, but I do know the good Lord woke me up this morning, but I also know there is no way in the world you can ever get to that pearly gate if there is hate in your heart. It's not going to happen, kids. It's not going to happen. And even though you believe you may not be a hateful person, check yourself. Take a temperature. Check it. We have California right now burning beyond almost repair. And there are people who want to put stipulations on giving people who are hurting aid. Yes. Is that you? Is that where you reside? Is that where you are? That don't make sense. It makes no sense. There is just no way that you can want to take health care away from babies, seniors, those in need. There is no reason why homelessness should be seen as a crime. Now, all of y'all out here talking about reading the good book, clearly you ain't read it enough. You have not read it enough. It's about helping your fellow man, right? And I appreciate all those who want to have your millions and whatnot. Just in case you hadn't heard, you're going to leave all that right here when you die. Just let you know. Like, you ain't taking it with you. But that's a different conversation. Check your heart. It is one thing to talk about stuff. It is one thing to go into a church. And I love fellowship. So hear me clearly. I love fellowship. I love going in, hearing somebody sing, but you sitting in a building, but not changing what's in your heart does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, you are the church. People know the good Lord by watching you and what you do and what you say. How you show up in the world, that is it. When people see me and they're like, something about your spirit. Yes, that's the good Lord talking to you. Check it. Now, I know I may curse a little bit, but it's okay. It's all part of the system. It's how he made me. Talk to management. You got problems with that. Talk to management. But you're not going to make it with hate in your heart. And this country is not going to make it with the foolishness that we see as today's politics. I mean, this is not going to work. If one of us falls, we all fall, which is also stated in Martin's message, right? We're in this together. We're all in this together. We need to recognize that. Ask yourself, what does it do for you, for someone else to get a little help? Imagine how productive so many more of us would be if we had a living wage, or if we forgave student loans for college. Now, yes, I paid my loans. Yeah, I paid them, but I also know that headache, and I would never want someone else to be in that headache. I wouldn't. I want folks to live a good life and be productive citizens in this country. However, now I'm gonna tell you right now, I am liable to go out and restock the bar with more moonshine, because wine hits, but sometimes some of these moments require some moonshine. All right, I'm gonna tell you that right now. They require some moonshine. Oh yes, please hit the like button, subscribe. I love how we are doing all the hellos. Thank you, David. Yes. Check your heart. Now, my grandmother, I love my grandmother. This is my dad's mother. I loved her dearly. My grandma didn't get to a place of really recognizing some of her foolishness, in my opinion, until she was much older in life. Much older. Did some of the things she did impact me? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I'm going to share that story, not today. But even she recognized, you got to check your heart. For all of this Christian nationalism, I don't even know who y'all praying to every day. I don't even know. That's going to be another conversation. Isla, put it on the menu. Put it on the menu. It's the abuser's game. Take what's yours and then sell it back, girl. Woo, and not today, but this insurance. These insurance companies where we have paid into our insurance policy for years, and then, oh my goodness, there's too many natural disasters because climate change isn't real. So I'm gonna now end your policy because we're losing too much money in these hurricane, tornado, fire-prone areas. Because I just want to sell you insurance but never pay for anything. Man, yeah, you know what? I don't know if we have it today. You know what? Not today. We're going to have to come back to that. Because I'm just thinking, I got to have home insurance to do some things, but then you don't want to insure my home because you actually have to pay out. And so, whoever set up this system, they did a number. Hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. Ooh, girl, that insurance, I'm going to say this because I know it's the weekend. I know it's Friday. It's Friday. And this is just the 17th day of January. The 17th day of January. I'm sitting to myself, and I mean this with all seriousness. I have 3 grandchildren. I've got a host of nephews and 2 nieces. I just wanted a better world for them. I just knew in my heart we would be there. But here it is. We ain't even talking 50 years yet. Before they want to roll back the few rights I have as a woman in this country. The hell? And trust, there are some women, because they're miserable, who want to make me miserable too. We're not doing it. I'm telling you right now, we're not doing it. Now, you may not see me march on sidelines because I'm sitting out some of these activities in 2025. But I will continue to have conversations and share the latest, greatest with you. I will continue to do that. That I will do. But I don't know about doing some of this other stuff. It's just the realist in me, the real Virgo in me. I'm sorry, that is perfect. The real person in me says, this is who America has been and has always been. We're 50-50, the Civil War didn't go the way some people wanted. Their descendants have yet to accept the L. And so we're back here again. And keep in mind that, segregation was not that long ago. Okay. So some of those people, those people, they're more than likely policymakers, right? They're business owners. I mean, I have seen Jerry Jones in a couple of these shots. Just saying. And we know how he. No, let me not even go there. I ain't even doing it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm here for one thing. I want my deposit back for 2025. They are already reneging on the deliverables. You are right. Already, we're not even. It's not even the 5th week of this year. But you know what? My phrase for this year is to be joyful. So with that, let me say this. I appreciate every single one of you showing up here to engage in these conversations. Seriously. And this year, I believe community will be our foundation. If you don't have a safe community, you can join mine. I will talk to you. You can email me. My email is in the little YouTube thing. You can email me. I will talk to you because we need safety in numbers. This is about community. Gwendolyn has already looked up how to bring back her garden because I'm just saying, We're going to have to take it back to the roots. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any beans and rice in your house, you better go ahead and get your beans and rice. Put your stuff together. Because it's going to look kind of funny. That's where we are. And keep in mind this too, and I'm going to put it out there for us to discuss sometime in the future, but I know that TikTok is being banned and there's all this chat about the real security being at play with this company having access to all this data. But look what Meta has done. Look at all these other monopolies. If an American company gets to manage all of our data, we're in a better place. I don't know. I mean, I don't trust any of these people. Just saying. But if you want to dictate people's access, that feels kind of funny to me too. But yeah, okay. She says, I didn't have my bingo card. Agree with Steve Bannon before hell freezes over. Ooh, Isla. Girl, man, I'm telling you, we need to get back on the calendar because we have a lot to talk about this year. A lot. As she says, Meta is in line with the government's agenda. That's why they aren't banned. And that's what I'm talking about. Peep the game, people. Peep the game. I mean, it's just, I know for a fact that the state of Texas sells its citizens' data. That we know. And I don't get nothing for it. So, you know. let me close this up. He says, I don't do the snap face or the book talk anyway. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for tuning in today. Whatever you decide to do on MLK Day, have at it. I will be, I'm gonna probably more than likely watch that speech again from 1963. I'm going to watch it again. And I'm just going to say to myself, okay, what can I do in my community to make this dream a reality? I know that there are Black children holding the hands of white kids. I know that. They're in my family. So I know that we have made some moves. I also know there are some people who are just fearful of change and move and progress for women and anyone else who doesn't look like them. And I'm going to have to help them get through it. I will tell you now, if you are in my circle and you feel some kind of way, go ahead and get used to that shit. Because this is a year of being uncomfortable. We're going to have some conversations that we should have been had back in 1963. It is 2025. We're going to talk about all of it. All of it. Without judgment. If you don't understand, come talk to me. That's fine. We can work this out. We can work it out. But we cannot go anywhere until we recognize where we are. In America, violence is as American as apple goddamn pie. I am saying it. It's okay though. Once we recognize our foolishness, we can move forward. It's okay. I got it. Shout out to my L. She said, I won't lie. When all the man body MAGA egos like Trump, Musk, and Bannon start turning on each other, I'll be watching with my popcorn. Girl, I got a big bag of popcorn. I got a canister. I got a canister from the VA. Freshly popped. Thank you, David. Great discussion. Community numbers. Yes. We have to band together, people. We are. This may very well be the reset that we needed. Now, I'm a 70s baby. Villages raised a child, right? Went to my neighbors. I got eggs and brown sugar. Yes. Villages raised a baby. So we're going to have to go back to that. We're going to have to go back to it. And sometimes you got to get punched in the throat to recognize that what's currently going on ain't working. This social isolation, we don't talk to each other. The fact that we see people hurting as entertainment, it's time for a reset. It's time for a reset. And if you have not picked up your good book, pick it up, figure it out, do something. Yes, this is good for the soul. Thank you. Hey, Aisla says, I'll be there with you, Mael, as long as they are getting in each other's way and not harming the rest of us. That's what I hate. There will be some harm. I don't know how bad. I do believe there will be some harm. Like I said, Oklahoma is already trying to get into it to keep people together, although they should probably be apart. Yeah. Keep your eyes open. And lastly, it's by design that all of bad is shown on the forefront. I still believe there is more good than bad in the world. I am right there with you. And if more of us got up and said something, like shared it, imagine where we could be. It's just time for a reset. It's time for a reset. Perspectives, open that mind. Open it up, people. Oh my God, you guys have been so great. Thank you. I know we've gone almost an hour, but it's MLK, right? But I will say this, and I believe the link is in there, but if not, I'm gonna get in there. Just because they plan with all these platforms, and I want to say connect to get on that GRH Jack email list. I don't email people very often. It's like literally once a month. But just in case they come for how we talking to each other, let's just make sure we stay in touch, because it's getting that kind of serious. I'm just like, real talk. You got to look into the future. If you don't own the platform, you don't really own how, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. So I want to make sure that I can stay in touch with all of you. I think the link is in the YouTube bio. I'll check, but yes. All right. As for the last time, yes, Dr. Tachi, a hard reset. And shout out to aren't these beautiful? I love these. Before I leave, Dr. Tachi, if you would just share who these earrings are by. I forgot to put it down on my card, but I love these earrings, y'all. You know, I'm a girl who likes to be cute at all times. You know, I got my Glyph optical readers. I got my earrings on. So, what can I tell you? That's why, again, my phrase for this year is be joyful in all things. If I got up this morning, I am happy. I am joyful. I'm going to talk to my family, my friends, my associates, and do whatever I have to do in this world that the good Lord is allowing me to do. And then there it is, right? I'm not walking around in fear. Please. Because I know about the good Lord. So I'm not worried. We are not fearful, not at all. I will be prepared, but fearful, not even. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. I know this is more than my normal 30 minutes, but like I said, it's MLK. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. I do believe I will be able to end this stream without any issues this week, because we've had some problems in the past. But thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next Friday. Oh, speaking of joyful, next Friday is Joyful Defiance. How being joyful and showing up in your joy is revolutionary. Ooh, yes. Maybe I'll dance for you guys. Maybe? No. That's my glass of wine and popcorn. Let's get bingo cards made. How about that? I'm gonna see you guys. Hey, it's G. Thank you for watching this episode of Girl Listen. Be sure to catch me every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And while you're here, I cordially invite you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all next week.